It is time now, once again, for another live stream. And hey everyone, JC Cool here, and welcome back to Satisfactory. We are doing the whatever live stream that we are doing. I actually do not know how many live streams it's been by now. It's been, quite honestly, a lot. Also, hello there. Get that going. Hi, hello. If anyone is watching, or even watching the VOD, how'd you like the little pre-stream animation that I got going there? That was a effectively a real-time Shadows demonstration done in processing, which, if you may remember, I did a stream about that stuff a while back, and didn't get it working there, but I just stole someone else's code that did it, so that's what that is. Anyhow, yes. Welcome back to Satisfactory. We are, once again, continuing with Phase 4. We are getting close to the end of it, though. And by close, I mean, we now have 2 out of the 3, 2 out of 4, project assembly parts done. As you can see, on the last stream, we put together the... I just realized my speakers are still on. That's why things are a little bit weird sounding for me. Anyhow. We got the assembly directors automated in the last stream and started working out what we needed for the magnetic field generators, and I went ahead and just did that in between streams, because why not? That did actually involve as well getting an entire extra tier 2 belt of coal over here from this coal patch, I believe. So we have an extra one of those. We do actually have the tier, what, 3 miners unlocked now? Huh, my frame rate's starting to take a hit over here. I wonder why that is. Who knows? Who knows? Anyhow, yes, today we are going to work towards this next part in Project Assembly. Not the nuclear pasta. That in itself, well, that requires this particle entanglement stuff. That in itself, though, is going to be a whole ordeal, which we might tackle next week with Jardy Cool. You never know that. But the thing right behind my head here, what is that thing called? I don't remember. But that's what we want to be making today. Thermal propulsion rocket. Now, the critical thing with this is that this requires 2 turbo motors, or 1 turbo motor, and 3 cooling systems per minute, as well as 2.5 modular engines. Now, the reason why that's kind of a problem in the modular engine department is because... first of all, it appears like modular engines are... Oh, that's the output modular engines are being produced on that floor. Let's go check the production of modular engines, shall we? 1 per minute! We need 2.5 times as many of these per minute, which is not happening with our current factory. So we might as well just lower the rates of everything else consumption to, I mean, this is just what we're going to have to do. I mean, the server runs all the time anyway, so speed isn't too important to this. It's 1 per minute of those, but requires 2.5 of those per minute. We're going to have to go down to, like... I don't know what the percentage is here, but we need to consume only 1 of these per minute. Is it like 40? 40, yeah. 40%, so 0.4 per minute, which makes the rest of these a little bit better. But we will want to produce the rest of those things with sufficient quantity anyway. But yeah, we just don't have specifically the motor production. I don't know about smart plating. I'll check smart plating production. But specifically motors, if you remember, we spent one of the earlier streams basically making this entire floor here a motor factory. Well, half of this entire floor a motor factory, and that was a lot of effort. For how many motors a minute, actually? Nope, it wasn't this floor. It was the next floor that was the motor factory. Whoops. My bad. If we go up to the next floor, we'll be able to see what our production of motors per minute is. Yeah, over here. This is entirely a motor factory. Now, mind you, in the upper floors, we do have a bit bigger of a bit more space, but it's still kind of a pain in the ass. Resources. Oh, never mind. We have 10 motors per minute. Actually, could we just overclock that? Hang on. I need to see what the motor consumption would have to be for that thing to be producing 2.5 per minute. Cause that's up again. Okay, you. Let's modular engine. So if we wanted to produce 2.5 of these per minute, this would be 250% overclock, that's whatever. We need 5 smart plating per minute, 5 motors per minute. Oh, we actually do have that, so that's actually fine. As long as we don't need motors for anything else. And that's just half our production though. 37.5 rubber per minute. That is actually probably the big one. Actually, let's go check smart plating. Actually, rubber's like right here. I mean, this is all we're using rubber for at the moment. How much rubber do we produce per minute? It's probably not 37. Oh no, it is. Okay. We actually do have the inputs for this, actually. Okay. So never mind. We are going to go full 1 per minute then. Assuming smart plates are at least, what, they're 5 per minute that it wanted? That doesn't sound... Our buttons being a little bit weird here. Yeah, 5 per minute of smart plating. So we won't, okay, in terms of rubber, we won't have much of a surplus, but we'll have a surplus. Smart plating is one of those things that we've automated ages ago, and it's like all the way down here. Oh yeah, by the way, here's where we produce conveyor sheets. We have a whole like portion of the setup here which just isn't connected to power at all, but could be producing not smart plating, but copper sheets at a moment's notice if necessary. Like, damn. Okay, here's our smart plating production. We have 4. There's the bottleneck. Again, we could just reduce the production. To be fair, looks like we're limited by rotors and not the, we just need, because currently we're consuming 4 per minute of each of those. What is our production of reinforced iron plates? Oh! Yeah, no, just... more than enough production of the iron plates to ramp that shit up. It is, after all, by the looks of things, rotors that appear to be the problem. Oh, that's just because we're siphoning off the exactly 4 per minute from this. If we put this thing back to its original system where instead we were feeding both of those into this container and then the container out, we'd do fine. Okay, you know what? We're doing that. And then we're just gonna get some power shards and overclock. Yeah, I've got this, guys. I've got this. There we go. Bam. Alright. Alright, actually no. We still gotta overclock one of these things to be slightly faster. So I'm gonna need power shards to overclock our, and I'll get this stuff done right now. I know how, I like from the last stream I was saying, oh, I just don't overclock stuff. And now I'm like, well, we need a slight bit more production of this stuff. Putting in a lot more machinery we don't have space for would be a pain. Let's just overclock it. We have the power budget, we have the input resources. So this thing needs a 250% overclock, which is the max. So we need, oh, I have a power shard, aren't I already? We need 4, or we need a total of 4 power shards. So let me just increase smart plating production quickly, and then I'll get up there to increase that production. This area is kind of bad to navigate, but then again, you're not supposed to be navigating. We'll say this one gets this power shard and goes up to a production rate of 3 per minute, 150%. Oh, there we go. Alright. Now let's, which one of the colored power slugs gives us the, like, 3 power shards. Let's go take a look at that, then we'll find one of those nearby. Okay, we get 5 from the purple and 2 from yellow. So blue is 1, yellow's 2, and purple's 5. I'm sure there is. And like I was saying, because we now like need to do all the... Oh hey, there's some limestone here if we need it. I feel like I knew that, but then again I also did. Okay, there's 2 right there. I highly doubt we're just gonna find... Whee! Anyhow, as I was saying, I highly doubt that we are going to end up finding a purple power slug just sitting around here. But a yellow and a blue is definitely likely, so... You may actually already have power slugs lying around somewhere. I just want to be sure that I have all the power slugs that I need before I go and do weird stuff. Ah, there's a blue one. Okay, cool. Oh, I realized I actually have... Yeah, there's a stinger right there. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Carpet bomb that fucker. Any response? I know they have like a draw distance limit. I think there are stingers. There's the little sucker. Uh-oh. There's 2 of them, and they're alive. That was a random trajectory. Got one of them. Well, that didn't really help. Now did it? Oh, come on! I'm gonna waste all these obelisks just trying to land one near enough to that guy to go, boop! Get screwed. Okay, hopefully that's all of them. Because I hate dealing with those guys. I do have rocket fuel for my jetpack right now. It's also just a tier, the worst one. Okay, this way we go. Ugh, I hate dealing with those things. But bombing them from the air feels good. Oh, hey. You're still alive. Die, scum. Not a challenge. Not a challenge. Considering the factory is literally right here as well. Oh. It's like those own things are in my backyard. Well, the resources they were protecting don't exist anymore, so hopefully they won't respawn. Alright. Let's get those power shards. Alright, there's the 3 power shards we need to overclock that manufacturer to produce exactly as much as we're gonna need. Mind you, this is the easiest part. We don't even need to do this yet, technically. I'm just doing this now because getting this out of the way is gonna probably be a good thing. Also, that stuff isn't actually currently being sent to the Awesome Sink. So, okay. 2.5 per minute. Woo! We have all those inputs going. Good. Alright. So... Now... theoretically, the rest of this thing, it would be nice... Or we're gonna need dedicated production setups for the rest of the stuff. So let's get a signboard here. Oh, excuse me. Let's get a signboard here set up with, hello, can I reach that? Thank you. Parts. The entire list of parts here that isn't just... What the heck even is that? Like, look at this thing. Is that a goddamn nuclear bomb? I know there's the nuclear Nobelisk, but that looks different. This thing. Select. So we need, for one of these, we'll be needing... Alright, now we need 2.5 modular engines, which we've already got, so we'll put them down. 1 turbo motor, 3 coolant systems, and 1 fused modular frames. So... Why can I not... Where are you... Okay, there it is. Hold on. Maybe this would be easier if I was here? By chance? Oh, I had it there for a brief moment. There we go. Gotta like aim at the bottom of the top sign above. Okay, well... Alright. There's the 4 components. So we'll start with the modular engine. And we'll select that as... Oh. Background still black, but we've got 2.5 of that. Then thermal propulsion rocket. So we need 1 turbo motor per minute. So, depending on how that... the thing is, I know we're going to need this for other automations and just building stuff in general. Heck, this milestone requires this. So, we're probably going to want to make production of this stuff a lot more than 1x, but just for one of these, we can scale the numbers later and see what goes on there. So, cooling systems, we need... Cooling systems, we need... 3x of those, and then fused modular frames we need 1 of. So fused modular frames, we need 1 of this, and we in fact have that already. So we just need to worry about these middle 2 items, which is better than not having to worry about them. So then What is this called? Turbo motor. Alright, turbo motor. Requires 7.5 cooling systems. Yikes, so we're gonna have a beefy cooling system production. So... Oh, this is for 1.875. Oh, that's the only recipe this is used in. So... Yeah, we'll just full speed this. And we'll just pretend that that's exactly one. So... Turbo motor. I'm gonna physically write down so I don't have to keep looking at the codex what's going on here. So 7.5 cooling systems, 3.75 radio control units. That one is going to be a problem, as we currently have production of that, but it is not enough. Wait, does that all... Oh, that might also use motors. I have to go check on that. Okay, this thing also... Okay, we're doing more motor production, I guess. 7.5 motors. Oh, and more 45 rubber. Okay, we're doing a lot more, guys. Okay, Yeah, this uses... Okay. As what I was just saying with the, well, we have the production to cover the, modular, engines. We do not have the production to cover this at all for any of this currently. So we're gonna have to build all that out. We're gonna have to build a factory to just produce rubber shit and probably burn all the extra fuel that comes out of that as just a byproduct. A giant... Like, we are currently producing 10 motors per minute in this factory, I want to say. Or 8. Something similar to that is what we're going to need. And then I don't even remember what radio control units is. But alright. So, there's the... Actually, the cooling system is going to go over here. So... Purely because we need to add it with that one. So it's 7.5 plus 3. Alright, that is 10.5 of these per minute. Which means that we should actually be making at least like 11 of those, because we're gonna need some spare for other things. So actually hang on. If I go... Okay. I mean, heck, there's only one more recipe that they're using, but I can only imagine what that is and how important that's going to be. But I guess we can create more at the time, when the time comes. Anyhow, 3.75 radio control units. We got the X here. Alright. 7.5 motors. And 45 rubber. Okay. That every single one of those is fractionals for... Actually, so if I were to go reduce this thing to a target rate of 1 per minute, everything becomes so much more reasonable in its production. But I do kind of want that actually... Or if I were to up this to 2, everything should be also relatively reasonable in numbers. It's still 48 rubber per minute. Everything else is more reasonable. I might decide to up this. This is just like a board to see roughly what we're gonna need. Actually, 8 motors per minute sounds a lot more reasonable actually than 7.5. So I might just up this stuff to 2. I might up those to 2 just to make the ratio so much easier. That is a weird overclock. Or 2 machines, as I'll probably end up doing for that. But right then. Cooling systems. I'll worry about all this stuff later. Just want to see what we need for the cooling system. So, this needs... Oh, it's going to need its own aluminum production as well. Because our current aluminum production, which is what's necessary for heat sinks, definitely in no way suitable for this task of making cooling systems. And, this only does 6 per minute. We're gonna need at least 12, so might as well double this. So, let's see. That's gonna be 24 heat sinks and cooling systems. Again, we're gonna need some spare of this, so doing up 12 per minute from 10.5 or whatever it's gonna require is probably gonna be fine. Oh, this also requires rubber. Look at that. 24 rubber, 60 water, and 300 okay. 300 nitrogen. Okay, that one, that's actually simple. It's just an aluminum production facility. This music just got really loud. It's just an aluminum production facility. And a bit of crude oil fuckery. I'm gonna go redo my numbers here, by the way, just to make that up to 2, because I've made up my mind that's gonna be better. That's all impure. That is an option for more crude oil. Although, actually, and this is for the rubber factory particularly, I think Charity Cool didn't end up using any of that. So I think we actually go check that one out. And check, I mean, okay, there's also this. That's for rubber production. Anyhow, let me go redo these numbers here quickly for... Hello, search. TUR. Turbo motor. Let's go full... Ooh. 2 of these per minute. To make the numbers rounder. So it's going to be 8 cooling systems. 4 radio control units. 8 motors. And 48 rubber. Okay. So it's going to be 48. Just 8. These numbers are a lot cleaner if we bump this thing up to 2x. So that's going to be now 8 plus 3 is 11. And we'll have 1. We'll be producing 12, so we'll be producing 1 free of that. Alright, and then we have the... So we're gonna offset these. So yeah, the cooling system can probably be built here. The only thing is, we're gonna need water, and our nearest little water source here is all filled up. Oh, we have this one here. You can start pulling from that. But yeah, the water sources over here are starting to get a little bit tight. Because yeah, we've exhausted this thing. Could always, I guess, pump water from over this way. Or pump more water from by the original power plant. But anyhow. So... heat sinks. I'm gonna need 24 of those. 24 rubber. Um, 60 water, which isn't all that much to be fair, but it is still something. And 300 nitrogen. Alright, so how much rubber does that make now? 48 plus 24. 72 rubber total at this point in time. What else requires rubber? Oh, I feel like these things might require rubber now that I think about it. Hold up. I gotta go check. Because I don't remember if this was on stream or not, but I did set up some production for those things over this way so that we could build shit. It's not nearly enough for what we're doing now. It's 2.5 per minute. We need 4 per minute. And this thing uses computers! Now I remember why this was kind of a pain. It also uses a bunch of aluminum, so we can like add this into the aluminum production, but in terms of computers, it's a 1-to-1, so it's going to require 4 computers per minute. I don't remember what our current utilization of our computer production is. I'll go check so I know if we can just start drawing 4 more computers out of it per minute. Five, 7.5 per minute. And of our current system utilization of computers, We're using 4.5. Which means we only have 3 left. Shit. But gosh, this game just keeps kicking me. So, yeah, no, we might need to do more computer production, guys. That's fun. Well, yeah, so that's gonna be fun, so... And then there's other resources that needs as well. And I guess we can just get to that stuff when we get to that stuff. Let's go heatsink next. So the heatsink at a production rate of 7... Oh my god, this is a weird recipe. How many do we need? We need 24 per minute of heatsinks? Let's just set this to 24. Let's set this back to 7.5. So 24 divided by 7.5 is equal to 3.2. Oh, these numbers are gonna get... But wait, pump that out of the PC production. What is the PC production? I am not entirely sure what that is. Let's see. God, heatsinks are going to be annoying. Anyhow. So... Okay, so we're going to need to multiply this by 3.2. So... 37.5 times 3.2. These numbers are... Oh, 120. Okay. That's going to require 120 cladded aluminum. Aluminum. So that is a vastly simpler number. And it's also going to require a... how much copper is it going to require? Wasn't particularly helpful. So 3.2 times 22.5. 72 copper sheets. These are reasonable numbers, I don't know. Oh, computers. Okay, well, the problem with trying to co-opt current production that we have for computers into using extra resources like that is that a lot of the production of all these resources has been carefully tailored to have exactly the required input items for what is being produced. So we can't really overclock or in any way like increase the production rate of the computer production here without also having to go and significantly beef up everything down the line, which is already, well, we're gonna have to build that somewhere else because there's not much space left in the factory here. And we'd also have to figure out new sources of resources for that, which probably makes it easier to just create a new production line for computers specifically for this. I mean, also the fact of the matter that there's an entire plastic factory over here just for the computers, which I don't remember if it's exactly as much plastic as needed for current computer production or not, but I have a feeling it kind of is, and we're going to need a lot more plastic than that in order to probably get however many computers that we're going to need for this ongoing. Which I guess is... Okay, well hang on. So the... First of all, let's continue going down the line here of stuff. So we're gonna need... So 30, so how many of these? We're going to need 120 aluminum divided by the 30 it produces. It's going to be 4. Okay, pretty simple. So we're going to need... It's 120. So 120 aluminum ingots and 40 copper. So... It's gonna be 40 copper, but let's just get all the copper that we need right now. 2 to 1. So 184 copper ingots. Oh, that's an annoying number. The numbers and ratios, and once you start getting into these higher level stuff, just start to get dumb and annoying. Copper sheets. Alright. That's not the copper that I meant. I meant the copper ingots. Alright, so that is that. And then, or blah blah blah. I think that's like half the current production of our aluminum system. That's just this. We have other aluminum needs that we're going to have. For the radio control units. So we're gonna need this to be producing, let's see, can it do 4? It can. We could do 4 in one per machine if we overclocked it, but I just need 64 aluminum casing. So aluminum casing x64, which radio control units. Oh, 2 crystal oscillators. Those things aren't the easiest to make, but you know, we'll make do with a dedicated factory line just for this. Crystal oscillators. And then, right, the 4 computers per minute. That was the inverse capitalization. Alright, that is that layer of the graph, I guess, technically completed. Okay, first with the aluminum casing. I believe that is just made of normal aluminum, right? That's a... Oh, come on! It will have to be a slight overclock for that. 96. This is going to probably end up being a similar aluminum production situation to what we got going on in the Fused Modular Frame Factory, because there we just have a little bit extra that's getting voided off. 120 plus 96 is 216. 24. Yeah, there's going to be... So we're probably just going to do a full 240 ingots of production and have 24 ingots left over, which is fine. Crystal oscillators. Oh boy. So these produce at 1 per minute. And we need 2 per minute? Yeah, we need 2. Crystal oscillators. So we're just gonna... give me 2 per minute. This isn't too bad. 36 quartz crystals, 28... Yeah, so... reinforced iron plates. We need 5 per minute of those. 28 cables. And 36 quartz crystals. Oh. 30, I want to use that as a search box for some reason. Alright, and that's all for 2 of these. To make 4 of those. And we're not even counting some of this other stuff. Oh boy. No, that's all to make 1x. I'm just gonna put that in parentheses there so that we know that we're making 2 of those per minute actually for the 1 of those. And it's 11, and we'll make 12 of these. Holy numbers calculator. Yep. I mean, it's worked out for us so far, calculating everything to 100% efficiency. Haven't run into any specific issues. And also, for some reason, the power grid's been pretty good, but I think that was completely different factors. But yeah. And this isn't even, like, the too extreme stuff. I mean, my brother was using a spreadsheet to calculate stuff, which is probably the better move, to be honest, than putting it all on signs. But we definitely have elsewhere in the factory various signs for comparatively smaller projects, calculating the 100% or the most efficient use of stuff. Like this here was the calculation for 2 fused modular frames per minute. I did more down here, I want to say. Yeah, here was my calculation for how much turbo fuel we could make and how many generators could be fueled by that. That's obsolete now. We don't actually do that anymore. And was it here? Or actually, no, was it on this floor? I feel like it got removed. Actually, it might be on the next floor. Like, I don't remember where this was, but it's probably got deleted somewhere. And I'm definitely making mistakes with how I'm doing so now. It's not over here. Maybe it was on this floor? It doesn't matter where it was, really. Yeah, I mean, design's really an afterthought for a factory, but yeah. There's some aesthetics that we're doing with it, though, like space elevator in the middle. Alright. Anyhow, where was I? Computers, right. So, computers. The bane of existence in this game. Okay, we need up to 4 of these per minute. Can we produce that on a single? Oh, we could produce it on a single one. Not that we will, but it's good for me not having to do math. That's 64 plastic, so get a sign here. Ah! Plastic. I mean, the next line, we're going to have to increase the amount of plastic anyway. So... let's go 4 per minute. It's 32 cables and 16 circuit boards. 32 cables and crap, I already forgot the number. 16 circuit boards. Interesting, that came up when I started typing CU. Z16 as opposed to X16. Yes, that is a lot. All right. So I don't feel like breaking I don't feel like breaking some of this stuff down now, because I haven't even gotten to like breaking down how much we're gonna need for all these motors and this stuff. I'll probably just start going for this. Because this will be much easier to get, and then slowly start tacking on all this other stuff. Yeah, I guess the cooling system is going to be first, because that'll be easier to do on stream, and then I can spend time off stream going through a giant spreadsheet and calculating the proper values of all this stuff. But yeah, from here, circuit board is the big subcomponents. I doubt we can get 60. Maybe. Actually, no, we can get 16 out of a machine. That's just fine. That's another 64 plastic and 32 copper sheets. Okay. 64 plastic and copper sheets. And then the copper sheets, of course. Well, okay, we need various amounts of cabling here. And this is, I think... Actually, okay, in terms of MAM production, because I want to be distracted right now, we have gotten most research done, I believe. Oh, and apparently a hard drive has been researched at some point. We have a couple things that we don't care about left to do. We could do these at any point we want. We have the resources, we just don't care about them in alien fauna. Alien technology, we actually really haven't done all that much here because I'm lazy, and I really should go pick up the stuff for at least the power augmentator. I know that's really useful. Completed Caterium, completed Mycelium, completed Nutrients. Haven't obviously got synthetic power shards yet, as haven't gotten time crystals yet. Quartz is completed, and sulfur has not been completed, as again we don't have... well, we realistically just don't have renewable power shards yet, so we can't manufacture these ourselves. And then haven't done any of the nuclear stuff yet, so don't have the nuclear novelist. But yeah, mostly done with all the MAM research. Alright, back to the list. Alright. Alright, so, okay, it's time to start aggregating a bunch of stuff together. So that's... 28? 60 cables. Cables... 60 cables per minute, which, in combined with the... I think that's going to be... Just verify... Copper sheets, that's a 2-to-1. So that's going to be... 64 copper ingots there. Just make sure I don't definitively need cables anywhere. I don't think I need cables anywhere else in this entire apparatus. Cables, it's gonna be 120 wire. $120 wire, and then the wire is gonna be divide by 2. So that's 60 copper ingots for just wire. Copper ingots 60. Didn't realize that a whole wire is 1 copper ingot. Huh. Alright. So, assuming that I haven't forgotten that anything else here takes a bunch of copper, which I don't think I have. I don't think the motor takes copper. It's gonna be 184 copper plus 60 plus 64. 308 total copper. So... put the... Well, obviously you're getting some sort of multiple of that, but hey, we could... I was just thinking, oh, we could theoretically use a Mark III miner, and well, we probably could. I'm just realizing that, well, we could, but in order to get the Mark III miners, we kind of need that and that, I believe, to actually build them. No, wait, it's just... Well, yes, technically. But we need that, and we don't have that right now. So, catch-22. Well, we can use... yeah, we can use stuff for that. In terms of aluminum, we're just gonna do one full... Oh, wait. Yeah, one full aluminum production round. Should be fine. Plastic. We're gonna have 128 total plastic. So... $128 plastic, which, if we look up the plastic recipe here, that's 20 per minute. It's gonna be... Wait, hang on. We want this one, because this one's actually more efficient with the amount of oil we get. Because... yeah, it takes 60 polymer resin for 20 pounds, which is only 30 oil. Only 30 oil is the better ratio. So yeah, 20 per minute though, either way. Okay, so we got 128 divided by 20, that's 6.4. That is 192 oil per minute for just this. So we're going to put this sign in oil. 192 oil for all of that plastic. You can see what the quartz bill is going to be on us. Actually, the thing with quartz is aluminum production does require some quartz. I will go look up what... Yeah, generally aluminum production does require some quartz for the silica. Because, aluminum is a very complex production, but ultimately not that bad once you get it up and going. I'm just forgetting at the moment exactly how much quartz we need. So that's be 22.5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these is clocked down to 33, so 6 point, an infinitely repeating number of 3s. 142.5 quartz per minute for the aluminum production over here. I'm not going to bother with silica because that's just kind of implied with the production rates over here. So we'll put that right here. $142.5. That's a Z, not an X. Alright. And then we need 36. Quartz has all the weird ratios. Because we need, yeah, 36 of this. Oh, that's just 60. Alright, that's the second raw resource that I think is going to be... So 142.5 plus 60, that's 202.5 quartz. Let's go put that on the board. So X 202.5. Basically, we're going to get that 240 and call it a day. I just realized we got 192 crude oil. We'll put that down here on the list. oil. Oh, that's 250 bauxite as well for the aluminum. Or 200. We'll just go 240 bauxite. That's how it's spelled. Okay. Because that's the input rate we're gonna. Okay, so those are some pretty concrete numbers that we can work with for that stuff. Of course, nothing involving iron has been set in stone yet, because I don't want to go through the calculations, or coal for that matter, for the steel on the motors. I really don't want to have to go through all those calculations right now to figure out how much is necessary, or how much iron we're gonna need for the iron plates, motors, and well, actually, oh wait, no, that's not the correct amount of oil. Sorry, we have a fuck ton of rubber that we gotta figure out. Put this here. So oil. That is going to be, let me recalculate this, 48 plus 24 rubber, which is 72 rubber per minute. We go rubber. We go 72, divide that by 20, we got 3.6. Wow. Okay. It is always 20. So multiply that by 30 and we get 108. Alright. 192 plus 108. 300 oil per minute. That's exactly a tier 1 pipe. We'd probably want to use a tier 2 pipe at that point, just to make sure everything's getting there as necessary. Yeah, then the other two raw resources that we realistically are going to need for this is going to be iron and coal. Quantities I have not yet computed, and I don't really want to compute right now. Because mind you, this interior list doesn't include those things, or those things. Or fuse module frames or automated engines, automated motors, whatever those things are. It doesn't include either of those. It's just for the cooling systems and the turbo motors. All of this. So we'll add the other two raw resources here that I can't be bothered to compute right now. Iron ore and coal. Alright. We can get started on some of these things right now, specifically the rubber and plastic factory that I'm going to have to build. Because actually, I'm going to see how much the nodes over here have. Yeah, coal might be a little bit of an issue. There are coal patches around here that we can pull from, though. If we won't need that much coal, though, so it's not going to be a big deal. And iron, we'll just have to truck that in from, well, more likely belt that in. Or we could set up a train system to start bringing resources in. In theory. Depends on how... We're gonna need a lot of iron. Anyhow, time to start surveying oil patches. We need 300 iron per minute. Or, iron. Oil. I said oil patches, and then we're like, and now we're going for the iron number. No, we need... Okay. Hello? Okay. So... time to go by the supercomputer factory and see how much unused oil is tapped over there. Because I remember JRD Cole was like, oh yeah, I kind of went and collected or tapped the oil from that unused, or from the kind of like in-ground oil well, but I didn't actually use it. And I was like, what? Why not? Because he apparently just miscalculated a lot the amount of oil that he actually requires to do what he's doing. Oh, look at my frame rate as it loads this stuff in. The resolution also goes so goddamn low. Oh. Alright. The tapped oil well is over this way, and I hope there's no enemies over this way. That would be kind of annoying, but considering we have plugged the resource wells, there shouldn't be. Oh! Wow, he used a lot less oil over here than I think he was thinking. Like, he tapped all the wells, but like, this one, which is pure, isn't even used. This alone is... Okay, yeah, we definitely have enough oil over here. I just want to see how much oil this thing is capable of providing us with. So we have 60, 30, 30. I'm gonna get rid of these plants, they're kind of annoying. There we go. So 60, 30, 30. There's just a power slug on that tree. 120. 60. Oh, and that's it. Just make sure that I didn't lose some nodes here. And it might be too close to select that on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did not write one down. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, that one. Completely missed you, who are also 60. That's 360 oil for, and this can also be overclocked, by the way. Oh, I could have just clicked on this. This actually tells me. 150 megawatts. Keeping the cogs turning. Is that an idle power usage? Anyhow. Yeah, anyhow. Okay, so that would be... this alone would be... How much of the oil around here did he tap but not use? So we tapped this... both of those and didn't use them. Oh, hello. There's a lot of enemies just in that field. Anyhow. Okay, it was just over there that he tapped and didn't use. Alright. Well, that's convenient. That actually provides us with a decent amount of, an additional 240. So he's tapped... he tapped 600 crude oil that is going completely unused. Dang. Talk about completely overcalculating it. That's an entire tier 2 pipe. Obviously, we won't be using that. We'll just be using 600. Actually, let's see. What does the power grid currently look like? Ah, yeah. We got a lot of headroom on there. All right. Oh, yeah. In case anyone's wondering, this is what the turbo or supercomputer factory looks like. A crap ton of these refineries over here. With a bunch of factory machinery going elsewhere. Yeah. It's pretty active stuff in here. Also, all the heavy oil residue that's generated there comes out this way and is fed into these generators, which aren't actually connected to the grid because they will occasionally do an instability thing, which I'm not a fan of, but they do produce they produce more power than this factory actually needs to run off of. So we could potentially put this factory off the grid if we really wanted to, which would maybe be a bad idea. I don't know. Yeah, anyhow. Let's see. Yeah, we'd be building a, I guess the factory for just straight up a bunch of plastic and rubber for this project is gonna go. I guess I'm over here, and I guess we could start building that. I just need to write down the exact amounts of plastic and rubber that we need. So I'll quickly do that. Yeah, here is also our gigantic power plant that produces more power than we currently use. like a lot. And this is the factory which produces that power. You see, it's big because at one point we actually used the majority of this space to construct the fuel, but now it's just literally just these 4 machines here. That's it. There's one of the old refineries that used to fill this entire room. And I also just left the crafting system for the compressed coal over there. Completely currently unused. And also completely disconnected from everything but power. Probably disconnected from power as well. Yeah. Yeah, it's factory planning time now, I guess. That's a lot of noise. Actually, what is... Actually, I'll need to figure out the number of refineries that I need. Figure out if I have enough resources for that. Ah, good. So we need 128 plastic. And... Dun 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 dun. $72 rubber. I think each of them like requires a total of 4. Actually, hold up. So each of them uses like. Okay, we'll go. Actually, no. We'll calculate this now, so I make sure I have the resources necessary. So, in terms of plastic, we need divide the. So 128 divided by 20. That's 6.4. So that's 7 for the plastic, and I believe it's like 4 for the rubber, which is 72 divided by, and pretty sure rubber is similar in 20, yeah. Yeah, so that's 11 refineries. There's all the resources necessary for that. Alright. Well, the color orange is the default in this game, and we can't be bothered to change it, and it also, you know, just kind of works with everything by default, so yeah, we just kind of keep the color orange around like that. And mostly out of laziness. But also because actually because, you know, the color orange works, and I'm not a color theorist, so I don't know, like, what good colors would look like together. Oh, next floor, okay. Alright. And... there we go. That's what we need for this. Then just grab a bunch of concrete, and we can set off to build ourselves a factory. I mean... yeah, I mean, the whole color swatch system does mean that, like, if we change the default or whatever, it changes everything. But again, laziness, that we don't really care what the color is, we're, like, fine with whatever here. But, I mean, back in the day, before they, like, changed how the wall systems work, we used to actually always just build our factories out of the what is now the steel wall, so, that wall out there. But then they changed how walls work, then you have to, dang it, I meant to get concrete. Anyway, but then they changed how walls work. You now had to like unlock the other types of walls and foundations, and they also required different resources. So like, the steel walls actually require you to have steel to build them, and not just concrete and iron. And likewise, concrete walls require just concrete to build, so they're actually a bit much better than standard walls in some ways. Huge steel box, my first playthrough. Yeah, admittedly that wall is much uglier, but like, hey, it's a factory. Doesn't need to look good. It just needs to, work. Also, this factory is kind of weird in how it started. It was, at least when I initially started laying out the foundation, I did intend to make it wider than 5 foundations out from this center wall here, but this rock here gets in the way. So we just stopped expanding out and started building out from there. But it was supposed to just be a square the entire way through. But then JRD Cool, I did this because I need a little bit more space here. But then on the next floor, JRD Cool built some extra, expanded the space out so he could have more space to do steel production stuff. And then when we got to doing some stuff with the oil and stuff, it just went way out that way, so it's not actually the square that I'd initially envisioned anymore. That's whatever. And then when we got to the floor we're currently working on up there, I just decided 5 foundations wide is not wide enough to do what we need to do. So now it's 8 foundations wide. Yeah. Whee. So quiet flying over the water. No machines, the music's not doing much. Then back to loud sounds. Alright, so that's 11... You know what? That's a weird sound. This area over here that is currently incredibly infested with enemies for no apparent reason. Spawned in already. Yeah, there they are. There's a lot of these guys around. Uh-oh. Oh, I have more ammo. Yes, that's right. There we go. Not really a challenge much, but they're definitely kind of pains. This will be a good place to build a factory. It's flat, it's open, it's right next to where the oil that we're gonna need is. But most importantly, it's flat. Oh, hey, there's a big guy over there guarding the immersion sphere. Let's try to explode that guy out. Not that I can't defeat him with bullets, but I just want to try using explosives from this distance. Uh-oh, he's walking this way. Shaking his head. Oh yeah. Got him! Hopefully there's nothing else around this merger sphere. I can't be bothered to collect it right now. So I'm just gonna leave it there. If we need it, we know where it is, I guess. Oh, okay. My crouch jumping isn't working for some reason. Oh yeah, we're just burying those alien organs underneath the floor. That'll do nicely. Sturdy foundation, that's what all buildings need. Sturdy foundation of alien organs. Right, so now refinery. This way. Centered like that will probably do just fine. Hang on, there's 3 tiles here. I don't actually know how big I made this. And we will slide it back. Do we need to slide it back? No, actually, let's center it. There we go. That looks centered-ish. Okay. See how many we can fit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 more. There's probably space over this way. Oh, hey, that's useful. I think I'm only going to do 2 more rows of foundation over here, and just do 1 more on this other side here. Oh good, it's letting me build through that. Alright. Let's build a refinery here. And way down on the other side of this, a refinery here. There we go. That's what we need in terms of refineries. So... oh wait, no, we need 1 more. Okay, I was right to be a little bit cautious about... there we go. Oh, take it. Alright, there we go. There's our refinery army here. Let's see, we needed 7 of these to be dedicated to plastic production. That is the wrong plastic. We want this plastic. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the rest of these can be rubber, so... and we'll take like the middle 2 and downclock these. So for plastic we need this at 40%. And for rubber we need this at 60%. There we go. There we go. Wait, what's the design of this factory looking like over here? We'll want to copy this factory because it's like right next door, so it's like, what does this look like? I believe it is just concrete walls. Because cheap. Looks like it's concrete walls, but cheap. And we have a layer of windows around the base. Alright, we can do that. I don't know where the door is going to be yet, but that we can figure out later. Should have done something better for that. Walls. Or, that's not what I wanted. I wanted these to be on the... not the reinforced window. This one. I'm pretty certain that... ooh, wow, we just basically went right through that rock in the corner there. Alright, that's a small wall there. Let me just go clean some vegetation off of this. Hoo-yah! Let's go. Let's go. Alright. We'll put a normal wall on top of this so we actually have somewhere to pipe belts and pipes through. Alright, now, and also once this is done, if the enemies respawn around here, it doesn't matter. We'll be protected inside our nice and shiny walls. Alright. We have 11 refineries. It's kind of an annoying... I'm gonna try doing some distribution magic here to make... or to try and make as much of the... or try to make these refineries relatively equal with the amount of fuel... or with the amount of oil that they get. Because, yeah, liquid fluid systems in this game can be the worst. So we're gonna try to make them not the worst by doing some smart things to make sure that the system's hopefully... Oh, over here's where I messed that up. Oh well. Yeah, doing smart things to make sure that these machines mess up, or that the oil systems mess up as little as possible. Very annoying though that we do not have a straight mode for pipes. They have said that that's coming at the end of the year with Fixmas, but like, annoying that we don't have it now. Their oversight is unforgivable, honestly. The oversight of giving us straight conveyor belts but not doing the exact same thing for pipes, that's just... So, I should have put that there. Okay. So unforgivable. So unforgivable, Coffee Stain. How dare you, I don't know, not, like, give us all the quality of life things at launch and wait, like, 3 months, 4 months to, like, give us all your favorite quality of life things. Alright, that should be our fuel input for this. We'll need a power input. I do not have the resources, or I don't think I have AI limiters. Do I have? Or high-speed connectors. I don't have high-speed connectors for the power switch yet. That was not what I needed to construct. This is what I needed to construct. Alright. Priority power switch. Here we go. Stick it in the corner. Name this plastic and add this copper miner number 3. Don't know why that's priority group number 8. But it's not a floor of the main factory, so it's going over here. Alright, and then we... Actually, no. This side is going to go to a little thing on the wall. This side... going to go to a thing on the other side of the wall, so I can't accidentally connect stuff to it. And the thing on the other side of the wall is going to connect to the grid. Alright, so you are producing 240 per minute. We need, I believe, 300 crude oil per minute. And you are producing 60. Which means that you're a perfect match for what I need you for. We'll go... So, gonna go for pipeline Mark 2. And I need to go back to the main factory to get more copper sheets. Alright, to enjoy this great sunset though. Alright. Yes, this is, working quite... Okay. Yeah, still kind of dreading having to do that, or doing that spreadsheet later, but I probably will to figure out the exactly correct quantities of all the resources that we are gonna want to have for this project. Because I think I did a good job, but I could have been confusing things a little bit, so... Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through the whole spreadsheet stuff. And yeah, do all the figuring out of that stuff. But you know, that's all off stream. For now, again, just doing all the oil-based productions for now, and then we'll probably get to figuring out aluminum and whatnot after that. Copper plates are on the first floor. Hopefully that's enough. Right. Then we hop back in the hypertube to go back out. Actually, a bunch of, attention and love has been put into these hypertubes to make them faster than normal, just because we're gonna be using it. So we ended up using them so often, and they go a decent distance that it made sense to increase their speed. Also, we had the power production at that point to do it, or the excess power production. When we were putting in a lot of the other hypertubes initially, we didn't have enough headroom and power production to be able to justify hypertube accelerators, which are always consuming an amount of power, which we could have been using for the factories. So, just the, basic hypertube is, good enough. But hey, now that we have a ridiculous surplus of power, Tier 2 pipe in here, and then pipeline Mark II from there to there. Alright, now we need to figure out the outputs. So it's just going to be a lot of conveying mergering. What's that? That's like 72 rubber. That'll need a tier 2 belt. Then there's a lot more plastic. Oh, come on. I gotta go back to the factory again. That was a very inefficient way to get through that water. Whee. Get out of my way. Okay. Whew. Got by that guy. Got by that guy into the hypertubes. Back toward the space elevator. Alright. Let's see. Alright, iron rods are over this way. Whoop. And back we go. Out. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Factory. I cannot think of things to say right now. I feel like that's a problem. Because I really just realizing that I've been just sitting here in silence doing, or mostly silence doing this gameplay on stream is kind of probably a bad thing. I'm getting a bit hot, so turn this fan on. Oh, okay. Alright, outputs. So. Right, mergers, what I was getting? Okay, well. You know, maybe if we actually went and did some dimensional depot stuff, this would be. Oh, that was not the right place to put that anyway. Yeah, maybe if we went and did some stuff with the dimensional depot, this stuff would be. It wouldn't be as much of a problem, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. Right there, and then we... Alright. That was incredibly incorrect there. So each of these is theoretically producing 20. Okay, that is 60. But we'll need a tier 3 belt for the 128. Yeah, that's slightly more than the 120, so we're gonna need tier 3 belting. Actually no, this is the wall that we're gonna use for the output. Two outputs. So we'll go there, and that can go in there. You can go up to, say, there. Oh, I've gotta... There's probably a way to flip the direction of belts going in if its placement direction isn't concrete, but I do not currently know what that is. Alright, actually now before I go any further, I'm going to want to go put in the conveyor poles all the way back. So hopefully we have enough resources for that. But yeah, we do well, the conveyor poles from the actual factory there to where this conveyor stack is going to be don't exist yet. Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Oh yeah, that's going to have to get over to the beach. Well, once it gets over to the beach here, we're going to be fine because the supercomputers, which are all... Oh, okay, well. Got a couple hostiles here. Right, not a problem. Fortunately, this is... Unfortunately, I built this like a normal belt without thinking that I was going to need to stack stuff on top of it in the future, so... I'm gonna have to place in all... Oh, yeah. This guy's a bigger piece of problem. Dead. Then we gotta deal with these guys. Okay. Wow, I actually got 2 of them. See, this is where homing ammo would be useful. So wasteful. Is that not what aggroed at me? Someone else? No, pretty sure it's that thing. Oh, there he is. Got it. The thing with those is I can never tell how far away from my face they are. Like, are they right up at my face, or are they like a mile away? It's so hard to tell. Thankfully, guns can get rid of those things before you can even get close to them. There's a lot of alien organs in this area if we ever needed them. I think I just heard that guy and panicked and thought it was getting a spitter attack. But yeah. Ooh, I've been playing the game Like, or I've had the game open for uneven ground my ass. Whose ground is uneven now? Huh? There we go. That should be a fine distance. Oh. No, I just remembered we need 2 conveyor poles on each of these sections, so let me go back, because we haven't gone that far yet, and start placing a second conveyor pole in. Oh gosh. It's just back to here. I'll turn zoom mode on for these once we get to the edge of this stuff. That guy's loud when you're close to him. Kind of annoying. Then again, playing this game with headphones can be kind of annoying. Because of how loud everything is in your ears. It's not this loud when you're not playing on headphones. To be fair, that could be some of my just settings for like Windows and whatnot with audio, but I like to think it's not my fault that everything is much louder than I am used to. I mean, plus if I only have like one ear on, it's like, ooh, whatever. Okay. Alright. That guy there might... I don't think it poses a problem, but we'll just eliminate that threat quickly. Just in case. Yeah, safety. Oh yeah. Alright. Yep, that looks good. Oh, here's another one. Don't think there's anything hostile in the world that's right here. Just get rid of some of that plant life there. It was starting to bug me, to be fair. And like, you know, it's just kind of that. It's just kind of its fault, right? Like, can't just go around being in my way without expecting to get exploded in these parts. These are the rules. We know this. Alright, and we're finally basically at the segment where we'll actually be able to just be... Well, not quite. We're almost at the segment where we'll just be placing on top of existing conveyor poles. Right here. Now, hopefully all the little stingers that for some reason resided around here haven't respawned in the last, like, year. Because they're terrible. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm assuming they're good. I've placed enough shit around here for them to no longer spawn. And we're gonna hope that it stays that way. Because the actual, like, requirements for what will prevent something from respawning, clearly, as you can see right down here, isn't the easiest thing to just place down a few foundations. You apparently gotta do a bit more than that. Oh, shit. Come here, you twat. Oh, I guess it hit me. Those things are just kind of annoying because they fly around, but... And also, again, depth perception is another issue with those things. Alright. Alright. Again, it seems like once again the popularity of taking things from way over this way and bringing them back to the factory is still going strong. As this belt stack is growing taller and taller. I mean, look at this thing. And we run out of iron plates right here. We're within seeing distance of this of the factory, so it's not that big a deal, but still. We were that close, and we ran out of resources. Oh yeah, I also have no gosh dang clue how I'm gonna be getting stuff up there to or the stuff into the factory to actually be used at this moment in time, because in the past I would have kind of brought it into the center here. This area is getting quite full of stuff on the lower floors going up, so especially for these things, I think it might be time to just go straight up. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be feasible, but I guess we'll figure that out. I'm going to acquire the resources I'm going to need to build these belts. And then steel. This is the steel floor. Nope, that's the motor floor. Steel's the floor beneath this one. Gosh, I'm starting to feel that I am tired. Here we are. Just fill the rest of my inventory up with this stuff. Alright. Now we can go back outside to build more and more of this stuff. Oh gosh, speaking about the outside, man, the weather lately has been, well, it's starting to trend colder, but it's been very windy, specifically. Not necessarily that, not going through the hypertube. Not necessarily that it's actually it's necessarily cold, but it's just very windy, so it feels very cold. And also looking at the forecast, it's going to go back up to the 70s next week or something like that. It's like, okay, well, thanks for being full for 10 seconds there. All the trees are de-leaved, and now we're going back to the summer. Thanks. Oh boy. Actually, no, later this week is when it's going back up to 70. And then, who knows, maybe it'll just plummet beneath that. Like, it'll be 70, and then by the release of Planet Coaster 2 next week, it'll be freezing. Or not next week, it's a week from... just over a week. Week and a half, about. Till Planet Coaster 2 unlocks on Wednesday of... on the Wednesday after the Wednesday of this Wednesday. Wednesday. Yes, we'll have what might be potentially one of the greatest games of the year. You could say Satisfactory is technically of this year, but you know, it did its full release, not that it's actually, not that it actually is released at this moment. Alright. Back the other way. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Woo, woo. Whoop. Wee. Wee. And we're back at the factory. Back at it again, ready to, I don't know, get some stuff sent to the factory, to the main factory. Gonna turn straight mode off. So we're gonna go... Oh, what? Okay. Here we're actually gonna have to... That was actually still too tall. So... Lean over the top there. Ah, yeah. Then the water is gonna be the bigger challenge here. We'll probably... This foundation's probably gonna be temporary, so like... It's actually fine. No! But, okay. Okay, going into the water cancels your build. That's good to know. Still sounds like I'm sloshing around in water, though. That's fun. Squelch, 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 squelch. Oh yeah, so... In terms of things, so actually, if you start at the start of the stream today, you would have seen the new pre-stream kind of animation that I was running there. That was, again, I'll talk about this again, I guess. That was a real-time, I guess, a demo of real-time shadows being done in processing, which I'm, of course, trying to bring to my game eventually. But, last time I was trying to do it on stream, I ran into some... Wait, is this literally just a length issue right here? Can I put, like, this here? But yeah, I ran into issues of not knowing what the hell I was doing, and the AI that I was trying to use to help... This is a little bit annoying. Anyhow, the AI I was trying to use to help was also kind of clueless about how to actually do things. Not knowing what I was doing, I think, is probably the real biggest issue that I was having there. But yeah, so last night while I was watching the rerun of SNL, because, boo, they had a week off, boo. Sure, why not? That'll be fine. But yeah, anyhow, I decided to just go look up and see if anyone else had already done this on the internet, and specifically in processing, and someone had. So I took their code, put it on my own computer, and it worked. And that's basically what I was showing you there. I did modify it a bit by changing the colors up a bit, putting in the 3D model of the website, or of the website URL there. Okay. Guess we gotta go one sooner. And then we'll be good for the rest of the way back to the factory. But yes. Yeah, so that was happening, and then, yeah, I've kind of gotten in the mood that I wanna... Now that I got shit like that working, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in the mood for wanting to work in the game. Of course, actually doing anything shadow-wise in the game is going to be a bit more difficult than just slap that code on there, because putting shadows into the game is going to require me to rewrite a lot of how objects render themselves in 3D, because now I'm going to have to do effectively a double render, once to like the shadow buffer, and then once the actual screen, once the shadow buffer's been rendered. So, yeah, it's a fair amount of effort to get things rendering on the screen correctly. But, you know, I will figure it out. Yeah, and then I got the other thing for the multiplayer stuff that I was talking about on Friday, that I'm in the progress of dealing with that stuff. I also just, like, today, or was it last night? I don't know. I figured out how you can change the FOV in 3D in processing, so... yeah, I'm probably going to go and figure out implementing that. The biggest problem with FOV changes, though, is that, especially for the... it's going to be a problem in the level creator, because I'll have to recalculate how, like, I determine where the mouse pointer is in 3D space. I mean, theoretically, I really should have redone this code once I figured out that the FOV was a component in what I was trying to do. But I have no idea if I can just substitute the FOV stuff in there to make everything work properly. But you know what? That's something I can... that'll be something for me to do testing on. But yeah, all the next minor patch, or all probably in the next minor patch of the game, which will be releasing who knows when. I mean, it's going to be a minor patch with major features. The only reason I guess it's not going to be like a major update is because it doesn't have any new levels. But yeah, in terms of a minor patch, I'm currently predicting the feature list to include real 3D shadows. Come on, there we go. So yeah, feature list should probably include real 3D shadows, a bunch of multiplayer improvements, and the addition, or fixing a couple bugs that I've noticed, and the addition of an FOV, a 3D FOV slider in settings. And this is... yeah, I mean, trains are nice and all. But, like, I can't be bothered to build a train track out there, considering we already have these stacked conveyor belts going back. Also, you kind of just... by the time we've unlocked trains, we've really already gotten so much infrastructure built. That's just kind of like... that feels unnecessary. Also, I mean, I know it's not actually an issue for us right now, so this is a bad excuse for us at the moment. But trains just require a bunch of energy to run. This is completely free and will always work. Plus, trains are gigantic. Like, unwieldily large. In order to do transportation, like stuff like this, we have to build a giant train station somewhere near the factory, and then we gotta belt that stuff in anyway. Oh, I need more steel. And then at that point, it's just like, why do we want to bother unless we're doing something new, like... for instance, when we get up to doing nuclear stuff. That stuff is probably going to have a train, but to be fair, the reason why I'm also going to want to use trains for that is that, especially in terms of nuclear power, radiation is a thing, and trains will reduce the amount of radiation that lingers around areas that they get transported through. Well, that is, I guess, at least for the radioactive products. Well, I mean, yeah, shipping... okay, the thing is, we are already using rocket fuel as our power source. The reason why we need to do nuclear stuff is because you need to do nuclear stuff in order to get the nuclear pasta, which is this thing right here, which is necessary for stage progression. That requires you to do various nuclear power plant stuff. Why did I just go through the hypertubes? I wasn't that far away. It actually will be longer for me to go back. Okay, well, anyhow, that gives me the perfect opportunity to show off the rocket fuel power plant here. We have 4-ish of these doing production to, like, a lot of generators doing the rocket fuel stuff. But yeah, we will need to get into doing nuclear-related things so that we can get the nuclear pasta. And also, I feel like there's other things that require that. To be fair, we haven't gotten there quite yet, but I'm fairly certain the nuclear pasta requires, like, plutonium or something, which obviously is, like, the result of using a nuclear reactor. So, yeah. Although, you know, I haven't gotten there, so maybe I'm wrong about that, but... yeah, well, when I get back, I'll check the what's-its-face, the milestone thing in the hub. This thing. So if we go to this, yes, this. I mean, this doesn't like. Power usage 500 to 1,500 megawatts, 1,000 average. Not entirely sure what that means for the nuclear pasta, but yeah. All this stuff here is necessary for making the, I mean, hence we unlocking the stuff, is I presume necessary to make the nuclear pasta. So it'll be necessary for us to get into doing reactors so we can do stuff with plutonium, because if we went to nuclear power, we got a bunch of stuff in there. I don't know. But anyhow, it's not that I want to power stuff with nukes, it's just that we kind of have to do nuclear power to finish Project Assembly, really, so. Or at least to get past Phase 4, but that's a job for another stream. This stream's all about doing that second to last item, the thing behind my head, the like turbo thruster or whatever it's called. Here we go. Ah, crap. And off we go. Also, I've never actually done nuclear power in like an actual game of this. Like, I've set up a nuclear power plant before in like a world that I had a bunch of mods installed on to just screw around with stuff with a power source. Man, the sheer amount of supply chain that was required to get a single nuclear reactor going was actually not insignificant. But yeah, that's, I guess, just what happens when you get towards late stage, or when you get to towards late game here. To be clear, I don't even think we're even at that late of the game yet. We're Phase 4. I mean, I guess there's Phase 5. We got almost all the research, got all the so yeah, we're pretty late game, but I've realistically never gone anywhere near this far, really, because I think the farthest I've ever gotten up until this save was I got to the point where we made aluminum, and then we really just didn't do anything after that. Didn't make fused modular frames at all, I know that. Maybe briefly started to dip into supercomputers, but even then not really. Usually we got bored of the game and stopped playing around the time we got the fuel generator, which before 1.0 was a pain in the ass to make because it required heavy modular frames and computers. Of course, in 1.0 it actually requires neither of those things, therefore it is ridiculously easy to make the moment you unlock it, and therefore you can actually, you know, power your factory through Phase 3 and then Phase 4. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright then. Now we do all that stuff that we just did or almost all the stuff we just did for the Tier 3 belt here, for this Tier 2 belt, then we can come back and finish this factory. And that'll probably be... Oh yeah, I've been going for 2 hours. So yeah, once we get the factory online, I think that's probably where I'll end the stream for today. But we still have a moment until then, so stick around, I guess. Hopefully this is going to be much faster. Well, okay. Building the belt a lot while it's close to the ground here is much faster once we get up on the high belts, though. That's still going to take a while. But yeah, once we get the factory for the turbo motors here off and running, and that's obviously the farther, or the production for them going. That's a farther longer goal there. Once we get that stuff going, we can start upgrading various miners around the world to tier 3, which I think doubles the production rate, which means we can just not explore for faraway miners as much. We can just updo the Belta, or upgrade the miners, then upgrade all the belts, and then we have free resources. Yay! You need coal? Well, there's a bunch of closer coal patches that could output a lot more if they were outputting at tier 3 instead of tier 2. Need a bunch of iron? Well, look at all these iron patches with tier 2 miners around. Those aren't top tier no more. Granted, the resources that necessary for a tier 3 miner are very expensive and slow to come by, but hey, that's what automatic production in a server that's online 24/7 does. Apart from when I restart the server, but you know, that's a minimal amount of time. Oh yeah, actually, when I briefly, actually, yeah, so, damn it. Okay, so actually, when I was, finished, oh yeah, because I guess in between streams I had finished the magnetic field generator production. When I was doing that, actually, when I did that, I was like, okay, this is gonna take like 16 hours to produce. When the next time I'm on here, it'll probably be done. And then when I got on today, I believe, it had relatively recently finished the production run. So that was very nice. But yeah, we hopefully... So hopefully be real quick to do here, getting back through all these real tall belts now. And then I can go off camera and do a bunch of spreadsheet math to figure out what the actual best possible production rate is going to be, or what the actual quantities and amounts of resources and stuff that we should actually deal with are. Because, you know, those are all unknown quantities right now. Besides this plastics factory, with plastic and rubber factory, which is going to produce exactly theoretically what's necessary. Oh yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, what all needs what. Yeah, eventually we'll probably have some sort of train system in this world. Eventually. It's not going to be super significant due to just how much infrastructure we've already built up without a train system, and that also getting a train system through into places where it's needed without also interfering with our... Wait, I didn't need to come all the way over here. Damn it. But yeah, getting a train system to where it's needed without interfering with a bunch of stuff we've already built is definitely going to be a challenge. Partially because the train is so freaking large. Maybe we could just have an entire floor of the factory that's dedicated to being a train station. That'd be interesting. It'd be really high up, but it'd be interesting nonetheless. Oh yeah, there's around the outside of the factory here, because while I was for some reason while I was upgrading this entire thing to rocket fuel, I was using like a truck to get over here. Oh, I know why I was using a truck to get over here. It was because the truck has storage space, and I needed a lot of resources to build all the generators. So I was using a truck to get over there, and I wanted to drive the truck right up to where I could drop the stuff off, so I built a little bit of a road around the side of the factory there. If I do a playthrough of this game again, I'm definitely going to want to try to do one of those more, build, like, infrastructure roads and stuff everywhere. Maybe actually have vehicles. Like, the main reason why I've been very opposed to doing a lot of vehicle stuff in this game is because that all requires fuel that we could be using for other stuff. I mean, granted, we are burning a lot of normal fuel right now, but in order to put that into a form where it could realistically be consumed by a vehicle, we need to package it up, which is resources that I don't want to spare. Like, that's additional plastic that we'd have to make for the normal and turbo fuel, or aluminum that we'd have to have excess production for the rocket and ionized rocket fuel. Ionized? Yeah, I think it's ionized rocket fuel. Basically, it's the stuff where you infuse it with power shards and it becomes ridiculously overpowered. I don't know what the production of power shards is going to look like, but if it can provide us with a substantial increase in the amount of power we can generate, I will do that. I mean, currently we're not at the power... I mean, well, as it stands, we're not at the limit for the amount of energy we could be producing with our rocket fuel system. We have, in fact, 9 more fuel generators that is possible for us to add, because I just couldn't be bothered to add a partial row of fuel generators onto the end. And even then, there'd still be like a fraction of a fuel generator's worth of excess production on top of that. So, you know, we have, you know, available capacity. And especially when you're working with fluids, available capacity is a good thing. As fluids in this game just kind of suck. You think that everything's going correctly, but it's actually not, and it's screwing you over. As I learned the hard way with both the turbo fuel power plant and the aluminum production at the fused modular frames factory. That stuff is nasty. Damn it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I ran out again? And there's also, again, right here. And to think, at the beginning of the stream I was like, oh yeah, we have excess production of this stuff. We could just, like, siphon off a little bit more of that to make project assembly parts. To be fair, we can, and we will be siphoning that stuff off when necessary. But dang it. Shit. Yeah, anyhow. Actually, I think a major benefit to how we've run this save is because we have it on a dedicated server, it can just, like, run when no one's around. We don't have to have the game open forever, but when we're here, everything's fully stocked and the whole factory's backed up. It's just real nice. There shouldn't be any inefficiencies, and everything should be producing at its maximum rate. But in case anything isn't, we wouldn't notice anyway. Yeah, now especially now that we're getting into the stuff that requires, produces very slowly and requires a lot more stuff. Yeah, we're really getting, we're really starting to change how stuff works around here. We're really starting to get into the point where, you know, AFKing maybe is a good thing. You just gotta put a lot more effort nowadays into how we actually get resources, how we actually do things, and where we do things from. Like building an entire separate factory just for extra plastic and rubber production. Which is the second to the plastic production factory, which we already had because of the need for more computers. Theoretically, this though should be a complete solution to all of our needs for this one particular project assembly part, at least. What? Oh, okay. Oh. This turned off? It indeed is. Alright. This is just a bunch of refineries. Ooh, okay. All ready to go. That is, 330 megawatts. I don't think it's going to make a noticeable dent in our network. Hiya! Not really. A gentle increase that doesn't really affect much. To be fair, we are now actually using more power than our original turbo fuel power plant produced. 10,000 megawatts was what that produced. We now could use 11,000. Mind you, that doesn't factor in any of our coal power plants or all the rest of the generators that I've added since. Oh, here comes all of that plastic and rubber. But yeah, with that working, I'm gonna have to say that's gonna be the end of this stream. I am kind of starting to get tired, so I want to say a big thank you to everyone who participated in the chat and the stream. That helps YouTube think this live stream is great, so it'll push it to more people, so thank you there. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be notified of future live streams just like this one. Check out my game, which is linked in the description, and I will see you all in the next Satisfactory live stream.